So we're going to talk about resources. I know we've mentioned a few different resources throughout this training, but we just want to touch on those again and talk about support groups and talk about other resources that foster and adoptive parents can utilize.
So a lot of foster and adoptive parents connect with support groups. You can do that in your churches. A lot of churches do have adoption, foster care support groups. There are some that are not related to churches you can get in contact with. I think there's a West Valley support group. I think there's one on the East Valley. Just look into it. A lot of them you can connect with on social media as well. AZIP, we were talking about earlier, Arizona Early Intervention Program. You can refer yourself online. You don't have to have a doctor or a specialist refer you. So just go to that website and you can fill out their form and they will then contact you. Good Fit is through Southwest Human Development, and they're a therapy for birth to 5 years old. They also run the Birth to 5 helpline, but they are great at what they do. They are very trauma-informed therapists that can help with starting at birth, truly. You don't think a baby would need therapy, but they do help. NICU nurses, I mentioned before as well, you can come in. They will come into your home. I think now it's protocol when your child is diagnosed with NAS that they will be in the home until your child is 6 months old. If they think the baby needs more, they will then refer to AZIP. Most of the time, AZIP will come in and be side by side with the NICU nurse. So you'll let the NICU nurse do their thing and then AZIP will step in afterwards. And AZIP is good from birth to 3. And then they will help you walk into that school age time if the child needs that any further. And I think that's it.
Yeah, I think as you start your journey to adoption or foster care, it's so important to know your resources. Reach out to different people who are already fostering and have adopted and try to build those networks with people because it's so important to have those resources. I think if you are fostering, use DCS as a resource. I think it's so important to know what they can offer and to ask. What's the worst that's going to happen? Absolutely. They're going to say no. So ask for support, ask for resources, ask your agency for support and resources and see what they have to offer. Because obviously we want this child to be cared for and supported, and whether that be through adoption or just temporary foster care, you want to provide that like wraparound support and service for them. So just know your resources, use those support groups. It's so important to network with people who are experiencing similar situations. So although some of them might not be specific to children who've been exposed, but I'm sure there's something out there, a network of people, or even just knowing people who have adopted who have experienced that. So right. If you're adopting with Christian Family Care or fostering with us, use us as a resource. We want to provide that support to those who come through our program. So just know that the more wraparound and more support you have, I think the more success you're going to have. So if you don't have those networks as you start, find those networks, find your tribe, find your people, because it's so important. Because ultimately we have to think back to these children and providing them the best care that we can. So that's through getting as much support as we can too.
You can't do your job if you're not at your best. So.
Well, thank you for watching this video, and I hope that you were personally encouraged. If you'd like to help us make more videos like this, please consider making a tax-deductible donation and telling your friends and families so that we might continue our work to strengthen families.